Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Another month has bitten the dust and it is time for me to go over my favorites from the month of July. I have a couple of skincare favorites, a few makeup favorites, and of course a fragrance. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm gonna start with the skincare because a portion of this video is in partnership with Allies of Skin to update you on my use of the brand new Copper Tripeptide and Ectoin Advanced Serum and the reformulation and newness that is the Peptides and Antioxidants Advanced Firming Daily Treatment. So let's talk about real quickly the Copper Tripeptide and Ectoin Advanced Serum. If you want a lot more information, definitely check out that video. I will put it up in a card. This is a healing serum. It's part of the In My Healing era that Allies of Skin is doing as a campaign. Copper peptides have a unique healing ability in themselves. They can stimulate the breakdown of unhealthy, too large collagen and then stimulate nice and healthy collagen in its place afterwards. And that is the goal of this particular serum. It contains 2% ectoin, 2% copper lysine complex, 2% acetyl hexapeptide 8 complex, and 1% copper tripeptide complex. I thought I would jump into this video and show you some iPhone footage in natural daylight, what my skin looks like fresh off of skincare. I do not have an SPF on that has any kind of coverage. So this is what we are working with. I just love what incorporating this copper peptide into my routine has done. Hopefully you can see. And its goal is to promote healing and smoothness and soothing of the skin, and that's what it does for me. Ectoin, which is in this at a concentration of 2%, is a very, very potent antioxidant that helps fight against physical aggressors, free radicals, the things we come in contact every single day inside and outside of our house. The copper lysine complex helps with firmness and aging of the skin, and then the hexapeptide complex promotes renewal and repair of the skin. I personally use this at night. You can use it morning, night, or both. I do use it in combination with my tretinoin. In fact, it's the only thing I use other than my tretinoin at night. It is up to you to do research on whether or not you find that to be okay. I have had no issue with irritation. My skin looks the better for using this every single night for the past 7 weeks. I believe. I use 1 pump of this. It covers my face and my neck. The dark blue that you saw just shows the concentration of the copper tripeptide. The darker the blue of a serum, the higher the concentration of copper is present because that is the color of the ingredient. I love Allies. I love how everything they have is not just one thing. It's a culmination of a lot of things that work well together. So you don't necessarily need 1,800 steps in your skincare routine if you decide to use one of these very potent serums. Now, this is a reformulation to the betterment of my favorite moisturizer of all time. I've gone through countless tubes of the original of this. I still have those in backup and I will use them. This is just a little bit of an upgrade. They did not mess it up. I was so afraid they were gonna mess it up and they absolutely did not. This has 13 brighteners, 9 antioxidants, 7 firming peptides, 5% of teprinone and ferulic complex, and 3% of biotech algae complex. I've said many times when I travel, I will take the Allies growth factor and then this, and those are the only 2 things that I use in the morning. It doesn't hurt my skin to skip other steps because this has so much in it. It can be used morning and night. I typically use it in the morning. I can use it at night during the summer, but this is actually easier to spread and a little more moisturizing than the first rendition. So if you felt that was maybe an issue, I would highly suggest checking this out. So just an update, nothing has changed. I still love these so much. I love Allies as a whole. I do not foresee that changing. I personally recommend these products. So I do have a discount code. I will link them down below. And I'm gonna go ahead and say, if you are new to my channel or if you maybe aren't so new but don't really know, I do not take sponsorships from any companies that I have not given my own money to, that I have not used myself for a long time before I ever agree to a partnership. and that I don't wholeheartedly love. It would be silly of me to do otherwise because it would not be genuine. And I have been doing this for years, and I would hope that genuine is a word that my longtime followers would describe me as. So, Allies of Skin. I have been using it for years. I have given them lots of my own money. I will continue to give them lots of my own money. I am not a dermatologist. I'm not an esthetician. I'm not telling you you have to use something for your skin. I am simply telling you what I love and why. Let's get into 4 makeup products, 3 actual makeup products and 1 tool. These 2 are from the same company and from the same video that I did this month, which actually got very low amount of views compared to some of my other videos. I'm not quite sure why, because I love these products, and it's from G Beauty. And this is the G Beauty Prime Skin Moisturizing Primer slash Tinted Moisturizer slash Foundation. Lots of various ways you can use this product. I have it on today, and I have it on exactly like I used it in that video, where I applied it all over my face, and then I put 1 to 2 stripes of the G Beauty foundation stick, which I'm also loving, on top of areas where maybe I needed more coverage, but honestly, I didn't really have to. I love this by itself. I love it under foundation. I love it under powder foundation. It's hydrating, but not too hydrating. I'm in the shade number Prime 3. Quite honestly, I probably could have used 2, maybe even 4. They're very forgiving shades, and it's just a very pretty product that makes your skin look more refined, a little more plump, a little more glass-like, without being way too dewy, way too luminous, or sweaty looking. Because I love a glass skin effect, but I do not want to look like I'm sweating. And that's what this product does for me. Love that very much. But probably my favorite out of all the G Beauty products that I featured in that video is the concealer. I don't know what it is about this concealer, but it loves my under eyes, and my under eyes love it. I am in the shade number 3 in this as well. There's nothing special about the applicator. There's nothing special about the packaging. This is the shade number 3. Slightly brightening under my eyes. This is actually called the brightening concealer. I don't like very bright under eyes, so I didn't want something that was going to be too light, and I don't feel like this is. It just kind of melds with my skin tone like I like a concealer to do. It is not the fullest coverage concealer that I own by any means. I would classify it as a light to medium coverage. However, it wears so beautifully under the eyes for me. I don't find that I get the creasing and the cracking or the wearing off like some other concealers that I have tried in the past, some more recently than others. It just really wears nicely. So I was probably the most surprised with this, but I think, as I mentioned in that video, is because I just didn't have much anticipation about it to begin with. It was almost like a add to cart impulse on top of the other things that I purchased, and it ended up being my favorite. But these 2 together, again, it's what I have on my skin today. I really, really, really like it. I talked about and have been talking about for the past few months how I absolutely love single shadows lately, and that has not changed. The majority of this month, in fact, probably 80% of it, I did use 1 single shadow on my eyes every single day. I will link to in my single shadow era video where I talk about some of my favorites right now. And then I got a palette because I just couldn't not get this palette. It's the only beauty product I got during the Nordstrom anniversary sale. I'm hoping by the time this video goes up, it's still available during that sale. I think I saw it at regular price on the YSL website, so I'll link it there if it's sold out during the Nordstrom sale. It's the YSL palette. This is the Couture Color Clutch palette in number 5. It's the only color option they had. Beautiful. Now this is a beautiful clutch. It's very similar to the mini Couture clutch palettes that I love. In fact, it's exactly the same, just bigger. And you can take the shadow portion out and use this as an actual clutch. I have the shadows on today in an all matte look. I used it in my last video with one of the shimmers. It's just a very pretty combination of colors. Do I have these colors in my, collection already? Yeah. Probably more than once over because of the size of my shadow collection. However, I love this formula. It is a very soft but buildable formula. So I can use this color, which I did in my crease today, and I can use it with one layer and it be probably one of the softest brown shadows I know of or I have. But then I can build it up to be exactly the opacity that I want it to be, and that goes for the mattes and the shimmers. I have used on my eyes every shade but these two right here since I have gotten it. These two swatch beautifully. I will actually put a video of the swatches that I posted on Instagram. I'll put it in a cutaway so you can see. It's just a very pretty palette with a very pretty formula. Did I need it? Absolutely not. Am I loving it? Absolutely. And then finally for makeup, I had to talk about a brush, and I used this in my last video as well. This is the Anissa Beauty Multi Powder Brush. Did I need another powder brush? Y'all, I don't need another brush for the rest of my life. I could supply my extended family in brushes and still have plenty left over, but I love a brush. A tool makes the makeup, in my opinion. And this is definitely no different. It is flat on one side, goes up in an angle, and it is fluffy enough to be a nice powder brush, but it's dense enough to actually lay down the product. Sometimes a powder brush is so fluffy that I feel like it doesn't even pick up the product, and certainly doesn't lay it down in a unified manner. Maybe I'll get like a patch of powder here, patch of powder there, I can't talk. This is like pop, 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 done. As you saw in my last video, if you saw me using it, I really, really enjoy this. I also got the Pinnacle foundation brush, which I also enjoy. And I got the bronzer brush, but I haven't used it yet because it actually came looking different than I thought. And I think it's going to be better for cream bronzers versus powder. I just haven't had the chance to use that yet, but this one, definitely my favorite of the three. And then finally, I have to talk about fragrance. This is one that I absolutely did not envision myself picking up during this time of year, but my youngest was in here. We were getting ready to go the other day somewhere, I don't remember where. And I came in this room and I smelt this perfume and I'm like, oh my goodness, you just sprayed Denkanto, didn't you? And she was like, I don't know what it's called, it's that one. And she did. And I could smell it as I walked into my room for the next 24 hours. And since then, I've worn it every single day. This is Perfumum Roma Denkanto. This is in my top 5 favorite scents of all time. And I have explained it before as me in a bottle. It is probably my second favorite scent out of all time, but it is the one that encompasses everything I like about a perfume the most in one scent. It's also, I believe, the perfume in this line that has the most amount of notes. The Perfumum Roma house in general is known for using very few notes, at least publishing very few notes in their scents, like 4 or 5. This one, according to Fragrantica, has 9. It's got patchouli, vanilla, gaiac wood, tonka bean, myrrh, gardenia, jasmine, mandarin orange, and cedar. The most that I get out of this is patchouli, vanilla, and myrrh. Myrrh really stands out in this. It's a very gorgeous spice. It's something that sometimes can be related to like a root beer type scent. I don't get that in this like I do in some of the other scents that have myrrh in it, but it is become one of my favorite notes. And I think it's spurred from this. 2 sprays is all I need, but I'm not gonna knock someone down if I decided to do 4. There's very high concentration of oils in these perfumes, and it's one of the few houses that actually suggest you rub your wrist or arms together after you apply because of the high oil content. And because of that, it lasts a very long time on the skin. It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. If you like patchouli, now if you don't like patchouli, you're not gonna like this because it is a patchouli fragrance. But if you like patchouli, if you like vanilla, and you maybe think you like myrrh, definitely get your nose on this. I cannot get enough. And again, it's one that I wouldn't necessarily pull for in the spring and summer because to me, it smells more like the fall. However, I don't feel out of place wearing it, and I don't feel that the extreme heat makes it smell worse or more cloying. It really has become a year-round scent for me. And that's it. Those are my favorites from the month of July. I cannot believe it is August. School starts in like 3 days. Where did the summer go? I have no idea, but I'm excited for what the fall and holiday season has to bring, especially in the category of beauty. So if you are not subscribed to my channel, be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. I'm sure I will have lots to talk about in the coming seasons. Be sure and check everything out that I listed and linked down below, including the Allies of Skin. Check those out. Check that other video out if you want more information, or leave some questions down below. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.